Hey everyone, this is Miss Lucia, and today we're going to learn about solar flares.
What is a solar flare? A solar flare is an intense burst of radiation coming from the sun. It is a release of magnetic energy associated with sunspots. Solar flares are also known as solar storms. Once the solar flare is released into space from the sun, it travels 4.5 million miles per hour towards the Earth. Solar flares are characterized by a letter and a number indicating how intense they are. For example, a Class A solar flare is the weakest class and is followed by Class B, C, M, and X. A Class X is 10,000 times more stronger than a Class A. What happens to the Earth when a solar flare reaches the planet? Earth's atmosphere activates and it protects the planet from the harmful radiation. When the solar flare hits the Earth's atmosphere, it produces what scientists call a geomagnetic storm on the surface of the planet. When the solar flare hits the Earth's magnetic fields, our electronics such as satellites, telephones, internet, and anything that requires electricity will begin to glitch out and not work correctly. Solar flares produce beautiful light displays known as the aurora borealis. An aurora, sometimes referred to as polar lights, northern lights, or southern lights, is a natural light display in the Earth's sky, predominantly seen in high altitude regions. Since solar flares are an outburst of energy from the sun, that energy affects our electronics the most. Satellites struggle to physically remain in space due to the pressure emitted from the solar flare's energy. Power grids on Earth are either shut off or destroyed due to all the energy. The first documented solar flare happened in 1859, and it is known as the Cardington event. It was a powerful geomagnetic storm that hit Earth on September 1st, 1859. It caused strong displays in the sky and widespread electronic blackouts. So what's next? Is there more solar flares coming towards us in the future? Probably yes. And with every year, humans continue to study the sun from both the Earth and in space.
Alright, let's review what we just learned about solar flares and their effects on the Earth.
What happens to the Earth when a solar flare reaches the planet? Solar flares produce natural light displays in the Earth's sky. You'll mainly see these lights in high altitude regions. They also affect electronic systems around the planet. What is another name for a solar flare? Solar flares are also known as solar storms. What year was the first recorded solar flare disturbance? The year was 1859, and it is known as the Cardington event. Good job answering those questions. Now let's move on to the art activity. I'm going to draw what I think a solar flare is. I'm going to use paper and markers, and hopefully you'll see it. Now don't forget, the sun is big, so make it big. Now it's time to draw the solar flares. Remember, they start out as sunspots on the sun. Now I'm going to draw the small planets. It'll give you an idea of how big the sun is compared to the rest of us. Alright, this part shows when the solar flare explodes. It shoots out magnetic rays into the universe. There you have it. This is my drawing of what I think a solar flare is. Let's see yours.
Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned some cool facts about solar flares and how they affect the Earth. See you next time.